For this project, I'm going to be using a casting resin to create molds to add to my mirror. And by the way, I love this stuff and you will love it too. It's just amazing. Now we are ready to mix the chemicals together. Now the box on this does explain exactly how much you need, so it's 1 part of each. Okay, so then and you have to separate it. So you're going to pour your first chemical in, measure it, pour it in your cup. Then your second chemical, you're going to obviously measure it and then pour it in your cup. And then make sure that you mix it very, very well. I like to use a little wood stick, but whatever you have, just make sure that it is mixed, because the next step is very important, because we're going to be pouring this obviously resin into a mold. So it is really, important that you mix it well, and it should be clear in your cup when you mix those two together. Now, mind you, this can be a little sticky, so if you want to wear gloves, you can. But I normally don't, because I'm used to it, and it's pretty simple because you're not touching the chemical itself, because it is in a cup. You can use any type of cup for something like this. You can even use a plastic cup for mixing, but as long as you mix both chemicals well. Now you are ready to pour your resin into the mold that you're using. As you can see, once you pour it, onto your mold that you are using, the chemicals, the product itself is going to be clear, and that is normal. Once the resin is dry, it does turn into a white color as shown. Now you can pop it out of your mold, and at this point too, since it's still kind of warm, you can actually bend it if you needed to, depending on where you're putting it on your piece. Okay, so now I am ready to paint my adorable medallion mold that we just created with a casting resin. So what I use in something like this, and I use an artist brush because it's smaller, it reaches all of the crevices on it, and it does a really great coverage, for your piece. So make sure that you paint everything, every corner, on the edges. You're gonna, turn it around, flip it over just a little bit, because you want to make sure that you cover all that white. This is why I love this product, because once it is dry, it does turn white. So if you're going to be painting it, it's nice to see if you missed anything. But the most important part here is to make sure that your paint is smooth and that you covered everything. And then once you're finished with that, you're going to go ahead and let it dry. The glue that I will be using for this project is Titebond. So the last process is to apply the Titebond all over the mold. Make sure that you get every side, every corner. Don't get too much on like the edges, because you don't want, this product to drip. And once you have all the glue in place, now you can actually apply it to your project. In my case, I'm putting it on a mirror, and this will hold it in place. You just lay it on top of your project, leave it there to dry, and that's basically it. But here is a picture of it as well, of what I did and what it looks like when it's done. And by the way, if you like today's video, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit that notification sound for future videos to come.